All right, so the next step is to start our website. So for that, we're going to log into Schoology, and you can either go to the purple folder that says Adobe Illustrator and Laser Cutter Engraver, or the project labeled Laser Website Page will be on the right-hand side under your upcoming assignments, showing that it is due on Friday. So I'm going to click that assignment to go to that page. And what I need to do is scroll all the way to the very bottom of the page, which I can use the scroll wheel or hit the end key on the keyboard. And that will take me down here to the link to get to my website. Okay. I'm going to click to open up my website. And then once it opens up, I want to make sure that I go to the correct page for this project. So I'm going to come up here and click Pages on the right. And we're going to go to the one that says Laser and click the arrow next to it so that we can get to the one that says earbud holders. Now you can change the name of this if you decide to do a phone holder instead. You could change the name of this from earbud holders to a phone stand by simply, oops, I right clicked, by simply clicking the three little dots next to it. And if you get that error that says something went wrong, just click to reload your screen. Okay. But if I wanted to change the name, I would click these three little dots and just tell it properties, and then I could change the name right here to phone stand instead. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click done because I'm not making that change. If you have not created this page on your website yet, all you have to do is click the plus symbol right here to add a new page. You would type in laser, okay, and then that would put this page out here. It would take it a minute to create it. I'm going to hit escape because I'm not making that page. I already have it. And then next to laser, you would click the three little dots and say add a sub page. And then that would bring up this one for a new sub page, and you would name it either earbud holders or phone stand, depending on which one of the two projects you're choosing to do. Again, I'm going to hit escape because I don't need to create that. I already have one. So what I'm going to do for this is I'm going to come over here to the Insert tab, and I am going to insert 5 text boxes, okay? One for each section or each stage of the design process that you need to show me with your website that you are following for each project. So I'm just going to click it 5 times. 1, 2, well, it will let me do 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so now I have 5 sections. Okay, remember you can easily grab the little dots right here on the left and drag and drop these anywhere you need to if you get them out of order. Okay, same thing with pictures or anything else. I'm then going to come over to the assignment over here, and each time there's a new stage, it has it bolded up here. So I can come straight to that one and go, okay, this is my first section. So I'm going to hit Control C and copy that. And I'm going to come over here to my page and hit Control V and paste it. And then I'm going to come back and get my next stage. Okay. And again, click in my second section and hit Control V. My third stage, which is plan. Third section, Control V again. Fourth section is my create section. I'm going to Control C to copy that one. Type in my fourth section and paste that one with Control V. And then my last section is improve. So I'm going to copy that section and come click my last section over here and hit Control V for paste. Now, notice that for some reason I have this one all capitalized and not the rest. So I'll go back and fix that for you guys, but I'm just going to fix it on here real quick. You could make them capitalized to emphasize them more if you wanted to. That's your choice. Okay. So let's talk about what you need to have on here. Before you start your project in Adobe Illustrator, you need to do these first 3 sections right here: ask, imagine, and plan. You can't do the last 2 sections until after you have made your design in Adobe Illustrator, because you're going to have to answer this question and replace where it says proof 1, 2, and 3 with your pictures showing that proof. Okay. So I'm going to come up here. The first thing it asks me is, what is the challenge? So I can come back over here to the website, and the challenge is right here. So I can copy this and come right here next to this and paste that in there. Okay. I like to just give it a little bit more emphasis, so I like to bold the question and have the answer out there like that. Again, that's a preference. You guys can do that however you want to. Okay. What are your design specifications? What are the criteria and constraints? Okay, so remember that we always want to put in our criteria first, okay? And so to indent this so that it's over underneath this, I'm going to hit tab twice on the keyboard. And when I do that, it's going to indent it over. I'm going to name this one criteria, okay? And then I'm going to hit enter, okay? And I'm going to tab twice for this, okay? I'm going to turn bold off because I don't need this to be bolded. Well, it could be. It's up to you. The first thing that I want to know is what color is it going to be, okay? Then what size is it going to be? After size, what is the text going to be that you're adding? What font are you using? And what is a description of your image? And actually, for a earbud holder, there is no color. It's a material instead because there's no color from the laser engraver. It engraves and it cuts. It doesn't produce any color. It doesn't use any color. So then after this, I'm going to hit enter again and I'm going to hit the backspace and that will put this back over where the other one is. And this one is going to be my constraints. Okay. So the constraints, I'm going to tab twice to put that over again, are right here on the web page as well. So I can come over and copy these constraints and come back over here and paste them. Okay. To get them all over where they should be, I'm just going to highlight this and hit tab twice. Well, actually 4 times because they went all the way to the left. So that just lines them up all nice and even. Okay. Your material will be the same for everybody for this. So the material will be acrylic. Okay. The size for you guys will depend on what size you have chosen to do. Don't forget that if you change the size, you need to come back over here and change it in this. The text, you can keep it simple. It could be, whatever you want it to be, depending on the image you're going to do. And so I'm going to come back and fill in my text and my font and my image after I decide what I want that to be here in a few minutes when I do my brainstorming process, because you may not know this information right here until after you do your imagine step where you do your brainstorming. Okay, so that fills out that step. Talking hard. Um, Under imagine, I want to know what your 3 brainstorming ideas are. We don't have to do this right here because I'm not having us do that. And then I want to know which one of those ideas you chose and why. So what you could do for this is you could just simply come up here and go, these are my 3 brainstorming ideas, and I chose the first, second, or third picture because, and then why you chose it. Okay. All right. So then you're answering those 2 questions. So then these don't have to stay on your side. I know what the questions are. I don't need that information there for me. It was to help you. Okay. So I need to go over to Google Images and look for 3 brainstormed ideas based on whatever it is I'm going to be making. So I'm going to open up a new tab. Remember, when you guys go to Google Images, you can go straight by clicking on the images right here, okay, and type in your search terms. So I'm going to say that I'm going to make like a earbud holder, okay, and that I want my earbud holder to be, I don't know, we'll see if I can find one, um, a hedgehog, okay. So remember, it won't trace images and we can't use copyrighted pictures. So I am going to actually see if I type in hedgehog earbud holders, if I can get what I'm looking for. Okay, so like here's one here that's kind of an example. So I'm going to copy this image. Now remember, when you're doing this on your website, you don't have to use copyright-free images because you're using these for ideas, for inspiration. You're not actually going to trace this picture and make yours, which would be a copyright violation. So I can just simply click on this picture and drag it up here to my website and drop it. Now it's going to put it somewhere random on the page and I'll have to move it where I want it to be moved, but I'll do that in a minute after I have added all of my pictures in. Okay, so I need three different ideas. Okay, so I could go for a hedgehog. If I can't find another one that I like that is a hedgehog, I could always go pick a different thing. So this one right here is kind of like a little sloth that they used, and they're just letting them hang loose because they have a flap with it tied on there. This shows you an example of the earbuds actually fitting in here the way it's supposed to fit in there. So I actually kind of like this picture better because it demonstrates what it looks like at the end. So I'm going to actually grab this one and stick it over here. And I could put both there if I wanted to. I mean, that's up to you. I can keep looking over here while that's uploading the image. I don't have to stay there and watch it upload the image or anything. So then I just need to find two more pictures. You can have more than three ideas or three pictures there, but at a minimum, I want three brainstorming ideas. Okay. So I'm going to go up here. You know how I tell you guys, usually you only want to do like one word because the more you put up here, the less options you're going to get, or it may not pull up what you're looking for at all. But I'm going to see what happens if I type in laser earbud holders just to see if it gives me some examples of something someone has created using the laser. Okay, so I'm just going to use this one right here, which is an example that I put in my slideshow for you guys because it shows some examples of different images. It doesn't have the one I want, but it does show some examples of what that could be. So I'm just going to put that one over there. And then I need one more. So I'm going to look down through here and see if I can find one more that will work for what I'm trying to do. And like I said, the likelihood of me finding the exact picture or image that I want to use when I'm doing this, very small. Okay, so you just want something that's similar, that's giving a good idea of what it is you're trying to create and make so that you can use that as inspiration for what you are actually creating. And so I'm going to do one more real quick where I add in acrylic and see if I can narrow it down even more, which, like I said, I probably won't come up with the same things, but here's another picture that I used. So I'm just going to grab this last one and pull it over here and drop it on my website as well. So you see that one went to a completely random spot on my website, and I'm going to have to move it up with the other pictures. But once I have found my images that I want to use for my brainstorming, then I can go ahead and rearrange those however I want them on the page whenever it finishes uploading the image. Okay. And then once I get them arranged where I want them, I can go ahead and go down and do that third section to be done with that page. So I'm going to bring this up here. So as you can see, it made like two more sections that it added for my pictures. And I can narrow this down, okay, um, by, making these smaller. When I drag and drop another one, see how it automatically makes that one smaller. So it made those both smaller. Um, I would like them up here on the same one with this, but if yours won't fit, that's fine because you can shrink your text box over and make it small over here. As long as you're answering the question, it says what it's supposed to say, then you can move your pictures up here and get all of these in here where you want them at, okay? And so see, then they start to connect to each other when you do that. So I'm hitting Control Z and undoing that. I'm going to shrink this one down some, okay? And this one. And like I can cut these two. There's an option in here where I can cut this image to zoom in on just the area that I want it to be versus it being um, that whole picture, which I don't need. So I just sized it down some. Okay. Whoops, too much because then it cut off part of its face. And then I can move this one up here too. Okay, so however you want to do it, you just want to try to get the pictures up here together. So remember how I said that um, I wanted these to be I wanted both of these just to show what it looked like with the earbuds and without. You don't have to have that. So I have 4 pictures. Okay. So then once I did this, I would say which one of these pictures I like the best and why I chose it. Okay. And so I'm just going to say I chose the first picture. So I'm going to get rid of that part. Okay. Because it's, um, it represents what I wanted to make. But I'm going to combine the eyes from the other images into the places where my earbuds would go. Okay, so this doesn't have to be long at all. It can be pretty short. I just want you to say that what your brainstorming ideas are and why you chose the one that you chose. Okay. In the plan section, what you need to have here is what supplies you will need for this. Okay, so what are the materials, tools, and equipment you're going to need? So I am going to hit enter here and tab twice. Okay, under materials, I am going to put acrylic because that is the only material that we need. Um, but you also, anytime you do that, you want to put other materials that you might be using with it. So like if I was making earbuds holders, I would put and my earbuds, okay, or and my phone. And then tools and equipment, okay. For tools and equipment, it's going to be our laser cutter, whoops, slash engraver, and safety glasses. Those are the only 2 tools and equipment pieces that you need for this. And that ends that section right there. So this is where you would stop and go on over to Adobe Illustrator and start creating your design, which will be in the next video because we won't do these last 2 sections of the website until we have finished our actual design. Don't forget that anytime you do this, you need to make sure you hit the publish button when you're finished so that when you copy the link right here to send to me, that it will be the actual link of your project. And so I'm going to go ahead and copy this link because I need to add it over here to the web page for you guys on Schoology to be able to easily get to the example one if you want to. And I'm going to end the video right there, and I will see you guys on the next video.